What's that on here?
Yo, 1, 2, testing 1, 2. We about to rearrange the world. Yo, hold on. Where I'm at on the board. This sound a little different than last week. This sound a little different than last week, right? I'm good.
What's our numbers again for the mics? 3, 4.
3 and 4. Yeah, you know you live, right?
1, 2.
Yeah, okay.
All right, all right.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Duality Podcast.
We here again, y'all.
Second installment. We're going to have some fun today.
All right, all right.
I go by the name Mr. Business, the fam.
This is Mr. Social.
And we're going to do what we do. We're going to jump right into it today. We're not going to do like last week and give y'all a spill. We're going to talk about some topics early. Okay.
What's on your mind, bro?
This
First
whole...
of all, before you go there, one quick thing. How did you like our first show last week? Let's start with that a little bit. How you think it went?
Actually, better than I thought, because remember, you the talker, so for me, every week is new. Like, it's not what I do, so...
You don't know how many calls and texts and stuff I got. Like, when Mr. Business start talking?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, I'd rather be behind the scenes. But, hey, listen, COVID make you change yourself. So this is what I'm into. This is what we into. Let's do it.
Maybe I was talking too much all that time.
Well, that's another episode. Yeah, we want to talk about
Gotta
that
deal
later.
with this guy. But yeah, what was on your mind with these topics we want to get into this week? Early.
Well, you know, you got the Nick Cannon situation, which kind of is a situation that's been lingering to me for, you know, as black and brown people, like, we only can talk on a certain level. Like, I just have a problem with it. We always retracting statements. Like, I have a problem with that. Whether right or wrong, you know, you don't never see other people retracting. We do that too much. Like, if he stand on and all of a sudden he like, my Jewish brothers and sisters, and now he want to claim we are the world like he Michael Jackson or something. Like, come on, man. Like, he was cocky when he said it. I want to be cocky. But see, here's the proof. Cut the money off. Which goes back to my point where, remember this whole blackout day?
Right.
But then they switched to blackout day. First it was blackout. Then they switched it to blackout, but let's buy black only. If you're going to black out, black out. Don't spend no money. You know what I mean? And, you know, that's just how I look at it. You know what I mean?
Again, me and you always disagree.
Absolutely.
So one, with Nick Cannon, right?
Right.
In this climate, you know, you got to be really careful. You know, how could you have him pegged as not wanting to keep his money flowing? They did cut off the checks. All the people he was talking about kind of owned his stuff.
Oh,
so,
no,
you know,
no,
you got to make
no.
a amends sometime. That's all right. I think you speak. I think he spoke his heart. Like you said, he was real cocky with it. Historically, a lot of people think it's the truth, first of all, what he was saying. I personally, and, you know, again, we don't want to get banned either. So let me tell you, somebody need to educate me because I'm trying to find out why what he said was anti-Semitic. That was my big thing. And maybe I'm missing some of the statement in total, but he went with historical facts that a lot of people tend to agree with, and I didn't see where he was anti-Semitic. What I think got him in trouble, my personal opinion, is when he showed a big support for Minister Louis Farrakhan. And that's who they say is the biggest anti-Semitic person in their eyes. But, you know, that's me. His statement actually that historically the blacks are the chosen people and are the real Jews, and well, even saying that now, I guess they saying all the other Jews are fake Jews, so that could be anti-Semitic. But I don't see the problem.
Well, my whole thing is this. Like I said, when you cut the money off, if that makes you retract, this is what I mean by, okay, it's proof. If we cut the money off, then maybe we can get some stuff done too. That's my point. Like, we can't allow them to cut the money off for them to have what they want. We had this whole don't buy nothing, right? We supposed to be cutting the money off so they can hear us.
Mm-hmm.
We still haven't done it yet. You know, this been going on. I know for at least 10 years they kept saying, you know, let's stop. We don't do it. But they showed you every time, cut their money off.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, we need to really cut the money off. Like, we need to cut the pipeline off in order for us to get heard. That's just how I look at it. You know what I mean? Because they show you what happens when you cut the money off. They can humble the hell out of you when you cut the money off.
I agree. I agree that economics is power. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. I watch him a lot. That's he 85 years old. He said, I don't got time to be playing around. I say what I want. Y'all look at him. But that's his power base for us as a people is economic power.
Absolutely.
He said a statement that is really crazy to me in a good way. Well, not in a good way, but not crazy that. He was like, the Jewish people helped us a lot in forming the NAACP and during the civil rights time, right?
Okay.
And they would show us a lot of stuff and how to organize and do this as a people.
Right.
But his words, it was peculiar to him how they didn't show us how they lifted themselves up out of the poverty they had when they came to America first, which was economic freedom. Why didn't they show us that? Why they had us marching for civil rights and not economic rights? Not saying that, civil rights is not helpful and don't, but a lot of people in this, living longer, we starting to see that, like you said, cutting the money off. But just the money issue, period, is a lot of power in money.
Well, you know what? I think about it like this sometimes, too. They did the same blueprint in a sense where let's let them do the work. We reap the benefits.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they follow the same blueprint. Because we'll do the work.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Historically, we have done the work.
We're a treasure trove of
Right.
talent and putting out, all kind of products and services.
Right. Do the work. You know what I mean? And they did the same thing. Let's get them in a frenzy. Let's act like we really support them. And then we're going to sit back and reap the benefits of it while they still sitting back looking for, a seat at the table. While
Right.
they building the table. Like, we never had the wood. You know what I mean? Like, anything we ever had was rental.
True. We need some ownership. We need some, but going to what you were saying too about the blackout, that definitely been kicked around a while. Christmases. It was one year I even heard a couple of pastors on online. People put it out there like Christmas time. Let's not spend no money, and it always have come up. We don't probably have not done it successfully as we would like to, but like you said, I think. Yeah, we should have spent with black businesses. When they said blackout, let's black out, spending our money outside our community. That was one of the great things. Now the numbers are slipping me, but compared to black people in the black community, the dollar circulates really, really minimal before it leaves our community. But the Jewish community, Korean community that has a lot of stores and different businesses, they circulate their money amongst each other. I mean, if I make money at my store, I make sure I go to a Korean grocery store to spend it. I go get my gas from the Korean gas station if they got it. Or if I'm Jewish, I make my profit. I go to the Jewish barbershop to get my hair cut. They keep their money circulating with other people. So the blackout was supposed to stop us from spending money outside our community. So I don't think we should have just not spent anything. But I definitely think everybody should be more thoughtful with their dollars and where you spend. Because even sometimes I'm saying they might not be the same race or nationality as you, but some companies genuinely always supported things that support your people.
Right.
So when it come down to it, that's who I would spend my money with versus just a random company A. Like if I know, they give back to the kids, they do this.
Right.
I wouldn't mind spending money more with them. But, you got to be mindful of it.
I guess my whole thing is, to me, when you spending black, I want to be black from top to bottom. The corner store might be black, but his suppliers isn't.
But yeah, so, how many suppliers we have are black?
I get it, but that's what I mean. Like, if we're going to buy black, let's actually be the supplier too. Because let's say, for instance, you spend $300 in this store because it's a black store. And for argument's sake, okay, they kept the money for a day. Because remember, the blackout was for a day.
Right.
But they still gave it to them the next day, $600. So they didn't lose nothing. They just waited a day. You know what I mean? Like, I want us to at least be able to, at some point, run the whole thing from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's all I mean. At some point, not only be the store, but let your vendor be black. Let everything along that chain. It's kind of like you said with the other communities.
True.
Their whole thing is on their chain. You know what I mean? Like the poppy store, he going to make sure his vendor is a poppy. Right. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, let's make sure at some point we build to the point where from start to finish, it's us. That's economical power to me.
That is. That's one of the things that I can even think of a couple of figures like Sam Cooke, right?
Right.
A lot of people say his death was very mysterious.
Absolutely.
Because at a time, one of the things, the black community, we don't have distribution. We got talent, we got a lot, but Sam Cooke was putting together a distribution system. So he just wasn't going to sign artists. He was going to be able to sign them and distribute them. And so that's that whole chain that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we definitely get cut out and froze out of that a lot. But so people need to start working on that. We need that. We need some black distributors of content.
Here's the conspiracy theorist, right? Mike was fine. Michael Jackson was fine, remember? So he owned 50% of Sony. Now he had Neverland way before he had 50% of Sony.
Right.
But as soon as he brought that, what happened? Now he's a child this and all kinds of stuff.
Indeed.
Prince was on his own stuff from, Warner Brothers.
Right.
Strictly him. What happened? These stuff is not by accident when we try to become powerful.
Hey, Prince was trying to tell us, right? Remember he had Slave on his hand?
Yo, like, for real. Like,
those are two major artists. And like you said, you can go back to the 60s with Sam Cooke. He died in a seedy motel. He's one of the most popular singers in all of the country. He died at, like, the Hostro Motel. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah, like how?
With a lady ran, like, it's a crazy story. Y'all look up, watch The Two Deaths of Sam Cooke. It's a nice documentary. It talk about his life. And the whole thing wrapped up around his death. And I think that was one of the, could be one of the reasons. I'm a conspiracy theorist. He know it all the time. So, yeah, they got at him as soon as he was building a strong distribution. So we could even look at Motown. They had the record company, but it still was somebody behind them distributing it.
Right.
And that was making the big money.
Right. Remember, just like Cadillac Records.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Muddy Waters and them was, and you see in the movie how they find out, like, what happened to my royalties? And he was like, yeah, your royalty was wrapped into these cars.
Got you that Cadillac.
Right. That's your money right there. But then you fast forward to current hip-hop, it was the same way, especially now they got them 360 deals that, they still don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, you still don't have what's yours, you know what I mean? Like, you still fighting for, Chuck D said it. When he did that pie situation, like, as an artist, you get, like, 10, 15 cents on the pie, while everybody else get the other 85. So, historically, it's always been like that.
And you the one that...
You're the talent. You're doing all of it.
You made that up, right.
Yeah.
You came up with that.
Like, that's the big pimping right there, you know what I mean? Like, look, we're going to front you 50,000, but you're going to go out there and make us 50 mil. But before you leave, then they give you these 6-7 year deals where you can't get out of. So now it's almost like you rapping for food at a certain point. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot.
This kind of random, but did you know Bobby Womack was messing with Sam Cooke's wife? That documentary, Craig, please watch that. Yeah, before, then when he died, I heard they say they think they was messing around before he passed. But it definitely came out. He had it, and he was younger, and they was like, man, the new young boy, Bobby, he got Sam wife.
Is that where if you think you're lonely now come from?
Maybe.
Yeah, they have stories in the song. They have story in the music now. You know what I
Trying
mean?
to tell you right there, man. You gotta
Yeah.
listen to the words.
Yeah, 'cause he was something
When them
special.
skeletons come out your closet
Remember,
and chase
bruh,
you all around the room.
you all know. Think of Mary J, boy. Her best album, boy, she done been broke. When she
Whoa.
do that, she gonna multi-platinum next year.
You going too far now. You messing with Mary, boy. Don't mess with Mary.
I'm just saying, though. Mary best album, she got to go through something.
Come on now. Don't talk bad about Mary.
Where's the lie?
She the queen.
Hmm.
She is the queen, man.
Oh, yeah. Of turmoil and everything. Yeah, she right. Yeah, she's multifaceted in drama, like, you know what I mean? Like, but her music is good. I mean,
Music is awesome.
yeah, for FCC
That
purposes.
might be my celebrity crush.
Yeah. But if that is right, I need you to get married to change that dance. You know what I mean? Like, she been
What?
doing that. She been doing that leg of 35 years. That thing
Come
don't
on,
get
bro.
high
That's
used
that
to.
hood. You know what I mean? That's a female hip hop dance. Like, you gotta give her that. She queen of hip hop soul, bro. She grooving.
Self-titled, but okay. So
Listen, you know this guy. Leave Mary alone. Y'all agree with me out there, right? Don't bother Mary. Even though I think it was a big debate right here, who sing better, Mary or Faith? And I even voted for Faith.
Faith.
I
Yeah.
voted for Faith.
yeah,
I voted for
More
her.
hits, though. We got more songs.
Mary.
yeah, that's
Mary got a
too.
vibe. Ain't that what they say now? She just a vibe. You know what I'm saying? You can't
That's a
deny
vibe.
that.
Yeah, but voice
That
wise,
dance is part of that vibe, bro.
yeah. But Faith though, that's a different animal, man.
She can
Yeah.
sing. Oh,
yeah,
she can
yeah.
sing.
She can sing. Like you can't take that from her. You know what I mean? I think Faith just got caught up in too much other stuff, maybe.
And Faith, I like that she from Jersey.
Absolute.
She more entrepreneurial. Like she was a writer. She was production. So I'm feeling that with her. But Mary's Mary, you know.
Yeah. So you got married?
I'm gonna reserve my answer on
I'm
that
just
right
asking.
now.
You got married as far as the just raw talent. Forget the sales right now, just raw talent.
Yeah. There's something about her that attract people a little more than Faith did. Now, just straight that skill, talent wise with the singing, I do think Faith could sing better.
Got the stronger voice?
Yeah, she sing better.
Yeah.
Just straight up. If they had to go a cappella on this mic right here, Faith finna kill it.
You think she'll tear it up?
She'll tear it up.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Okay.
Tonight.
Tonight. For real, like.
You know what? That's a good segue right there because tonight we have a special guest coming
Absolute.
to the Duality Podcast.
Let's get into it.
She's an author. She's has a PhD, lifelong learner, and she's also a mother of a son that's on the autistic spectrum. So she juggles a lot, just like Faith did. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, I want y'all to welcome to the Duality Podcast, Dr. Keena White, a.k.a. Dr. K.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's going good.
Good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Awesome.
We awesome, man. We got a new podcast going. We got a great, interesting guest here that we're going to interview. That's going to make our ratings go up, right? You worked that
Yes.
out already, right?
Right.
Okay, great.
I got you.
But we want to jump into it a little bit. And I would like to ask you to give us a little background on yourself. I said you were a doctor with a PhD. Let me ask this real quick because I'm always confused.
I'm getting a PhD.
You're getting a PhD.
Yes.
Okay. So in what field?
Counseling education.
counseling and education.
Okay.
So does that include, like, could you say I'm a psychiatrist or psychologist or?
Well, I'm already a therapist, so yes, I'm already I'm already certified in that area.
Explain that. See, that confuses me. You're going for the doctor, but you are certified. And look, I'm going to throw this out there. Dr. Umar had a big issue with this, right? Was
Yeah.
he certified? Did he say this? So can you explain to the people a little bit that whole situation? What you do, what's the kind of the difference of being certified like that?
Okay, so you can get your doctors without being certified.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm a national board certified therapist because I took the test.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the training. I had supervision. I did all of the hours.
Okay.
So it's a difference. Like you can still be called there's levels to it. So you have a licensed associate to where you don't have your full license, but you finish your degree.
Right.
And you submitted your paperwork.
Is that like accounting, kind of? You know how?
Yeah,
you
you have different levels to
Right,
it. Yeah.
right, okay.
So then the professional license, you have to go and actually do your hours, hire somebody to supervise you. It's like you're spending more money for people to get your certification. You take a test.
Mm-hmm.
So once you go through all of that, now you're a board licensed certified like therapist or counselor.
Oh, okay.
But you still can there's people in my PhD program who don't have their license yet.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people that I know who are doctors who are not licensed therapists.
So
Okay.
wait, can I call you doctor?
Yes.
All right, that's like, all right, doc.
Well,
I want to say that.
Doctor is my nickname. It was a nickname given to me by a friend, and it was something that we did to kind of motivate each other.
Wow.
So I would call him firefighter. He would always call me doc. And he was just like, I just want you to stay on your path, keep your momentum. I'm going to always call you doc. So everybody else started calling me doc.
That's what's up.
But
See how
it's-
you speak things into
But it's
existence?
legal. It's legal. Doctor's legal.
Yeah.
You can see people and things like that as a
I already
therapist?
see them now. I've been seeing them for the past 5-6 years.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So where are you from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey? Okay.
Okay, we're gonna narrow that down a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Just
let's narrow that down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm originally from Irvington, New Jersey.
Okay.
But right now I reside in Bloomfield and I work throughout Central Jersey, Bergen County, Union County, Essex County. So
Okay.
Okay.
that's where I treat majority of my clients at.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Do you like your field? Like, really enjoy it?
I do. At first I was teaching. And I remember telling my client this week, I was just like, I remember when I was teaching, I would have a headache. Like I would want to go home and be sick. But when I would see my clients after teaching, my headache would go away. So that's how I knew I loved being a therapist, because when I'm in session, I don't feel any pain. It's it's natural because it's where I want to be.
So it's therapeutic for you as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And something you just said, I remember doing a little research on you, and it talked about your teaching career, but you said you left that
Yes.
to go into start your own practice and therapy, things like that.
Yes.
Tell us you answered that. It's therapeutic for you as well, so it felt good. I get that. But leaving the stability of a job and things like that to go out into venture on your own. How was that process?
It was tough because I was nervous. You get scared. You get used to the momentum of consistency, being able to depend on it. You get complacent. But I think I outgrew my environment. It was time for me to leave. It was no more growth when you keep seeing the same things happen over and over again. And when I felt my teaching lack and not be motivated, I knew it was time for me to leave.
Right.
So I just remained positive, and I just set the stone. I set the stage, just created a plan. It was just I'm going to be done. So this is my first full year without teaching, with
okay.
doing therapy full time, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The money about the same?
It's not the same.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
it's not the same.
Do you sleep better now?
A lot better because
Yeah.
you have your own schedule. I now have my own schedule.
That's what's up.
Oh, okay.
So it's my time, whatever I want to do. I see my clients based according to my timetable of when I want to see them.
Wow.
That got to be a good feeling, being your own boss and able to set your own schedule around your life. Especially somebody like you, you're a single mom, and your son Justin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's on the autistic spectrum. Talk to us a little bit about that, how that is juggling your career and having all kids need a love and a lot of attention, right? But he may need a little more. Talk to us about that.
I think with him, if I didn't get him to where he is today, I think it would have been a lot more challenging for me. But now that like he's high functioning, he could do for himself. The only thing that I have to worry about is his mental health. So this past March, he was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. So that's what we have to focus on, is just making sure like he's implementing his own strategies. I'm not his therapist. He has his own therapist.
Okay.
So like I'm a true advocate for not like double tapping or having dual relationships with other people or trying to be their therapist. No, we have to hire you a therapist. So he has his own therapist, and so we're working through that. So that's the only challenge, and getting him to normalize himself because of his diagnosis. Sometimes he sees himself as different. I'm not quote unquote normal, and I'm like, nobody is normal. But for so long growing up, I never told him about his diagnosis until he was about 10. And he was just like, I want to know why I'm different. I want to know why I think differently. I want to know like why people just look at me like I'm weird. Like I want to know. So I was just like, if you remember this conversation over the summer, I'll tell you. Soon as the summer hit, he remembered that next day. Remember, you told me if I remembered this conversation, you're going to tell me what's wrong with me or like and I said, there's nothing wrong with you. This is your diagnosis. You have autism. So I have a book saved of like all his doctors, therapists, everybody, just the initial diagnosis, everything. So I just showed him the book, and I said, I didn't want you to define yourself based off of these standards. I wanted you to learn you. So that's why I never told you this diagnosis, which is autism, but you're Justin at the end of the day. That's what I want you to know.
No doubt.
This is what your traits are. This is what this is. You know, they said that you wouldn't be able to talk. They said that you wouldn't be potty trained. They said that you would be institutionalized. They said you wouldn't make it out of a special needs school. You surpassed all of that. You're walking, you're talking, now you're in regular education. You're making A's and B's. All of the things that they said that you wouldn't be able to do, you defied all of that. So I didn't want you to succumb to this. I wanted you to succumb to who you are. And so that kind of stuck with him. And he even mentioned that during his therapy session with his therapist. He was just like, the therapist asked him, what motivates you? And he said, my mother is my motivator. And he said, I appreciate how she didn't allow my first diagnosis, which is autism, and now with my mental health diagnosis, she refused for me to succumb to it. And so I love the fact that she motivates me.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, through the years, has it become easier as he got older for you? Like, as far as the communicational side of it, has it become a lot easier? And the reason I'm asking, because I know a friend, Kareem, her son, he's autistic, and he went to school in Chatham. But I noticed at that school, there's different levels of how autism works.
Yeah.
Like, he's the type, you can give him a date, June 8th. He can tell you exactly what day it was back then. Yeah. Like, they have little gifts.
Savants, yeah.
Right. And he also has, a little OCD. Yeah. Like, he's very repetitive, and he's got to be. Yeah. So I'm like, as he got older, did you start noticing some of those, traits that he might have?
Normally, children with autism have a sign with OCD, and they also have mental health conditions. Okay. So that's typical for children who are diagnosed with autism to have that particular trait. But with him, no, he still has some quirks about him. Okay. That's just him. That I'm okay, but he can communicate a lot better. He does have a hard time with, I guess, understanding himself. Right. And trying to navigate the world and the crisis that's going on, people's perception. So he's just for him, it's a simple mindset. And he's just like, why are people so complex? Like,
Right.
why do we hate each other?
Like,
So some of the questions would be like, why do they hate each other? Like, why do they care what this person thinks?
But actually,
like,
they see it more black and white. Like,
it's just
Right.
like, okay, well, okay, why don't they just stop doing that?
It's like we more difficult than they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was about to say, like you said, the norms to say he's not normal, or people, with autism, or they're not normal. And they can break things down so simply. Like,
Absolutely.
why are you hating? Because they don't see all these preconceived things
Notions,
that came in and learned all of that.
And for them, it's like, if you did it to me, I'm going to do it back to you. So
Right.
don't do it to me if you don't want me to do it
Cut
to
and
you.
dry, cut and dry.
Like, it's just like, well, I don't get it. Like, you were smart with me. You were
That's
sarcastic.
good.
I'm
Absolutely.
going to be sarcastic with you. And you be like, no, you can't do that. Why?
He
It's
did
black
it.
and white. Like, you did, I'm going to do it
Right.
back.
Right.
So I have a lot of clients on the spectrum, and I have to explain that all the time to my clients' parents, especially the higher functioning ones. It's like, well, you do have to be mindful, because they are going to do it back. And sometimes it's worse. Like, they're like, no, you made me feel horrible. You said I made you feel horrible. I'm going to make you feel horrible. Like,
Wow.
and they have no emotions, no.
I'm almost sometimes like jealous. You know
Man,
what I mean?
you wanted to
Yeah, like you don't have the luxury of doing that without the backlash that comes with it. You know what I mean?
maybe some of us need a little more artistic mindset, and like things are cut and dry. That's the way you do it to me. I'm gonna do
Absolutely.
it back.
Yeah.
It's not
Absolutely.
that simple. I mean, it's not that complex.
Eye
But
for
for
an
them,
eye,
it's
right?
hard for them to navigate our quote unquote world. It's
Right.
just like, it's too many rules. Like, it's stupid. Like, I don't get it. And I'm like,
I give you one quick thing. This something. I'm always, he know that, like, reading stuff, doing this, and what we talking about kind of fits this. So bear with me 1 minute.
okay.
So we learned, right, the really elegant way and the very cultured way to have a dinner is to sit down. You have your salad fork, you have your dinner fork, you have your spoon, your knife, a saucer, a plate, a this, a that.
I have
Who
all
needs
that.
all of that?
I was about to say, I didn't have
Aren't
all
you
that.
almost crazy?
That's the
who
etiquette.
More, who more crazy, like the person that came up with that, or because I put my food in the bowl and get something and just eat?
I remember that in pageant school, but I didn't have that at home.
Nobody did. I'm just saying, the world tells us
Tells us,
that's the
yeah.
elegant way, and you should learn to eat with the proper fork. You only need one fork to eat. Like,
Yeah.
But you know what? Some of that stuff to me ain't even the world way. Cause you see Africa, like they get their sweet potato, their hands in, like like there's no silverware. So I'm thinking like that was the original way to
way.
eat. Like,
absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Because that's the way you share and everything,
Yeah.
too.
Like, my son growing up, we couldn't eat in the room with him.
Wow.
He would toss his entire plate at you if you step foot in the kitchen. Like, you would have to hurry up, feed him. I would have to put the food on the table and walk out. He did not want any eye contact,
Wow.
you to say his name, for him to look up and see your face. Like,
Wow.
he wanted to be in his own world.
Okay.
If you walked in the kitchen, prepare for the plate to fly right at you.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh my goodness, how are we going to break? But we had to break him out of it. Like,
Okay.
So
that
let-
was tough.
Let me ask this really quick. How old was he when he got the diagnosis? So, like, how did you? Is it something you noticed on your own and took him?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I noticed that he wasn't communicating because I was a teacher. And so I'm like, all right, he should be talking right now. He's not talking. So I went to his doctor. Well, you're a young mom. Boys develop slower than girls. Like, it's okay. You're just overzealous. Like, go back home. So I was just like, okay. So I went, and because of the place that I worked at, it was like in Roseland. It was like a lot of rich, white, successful entrepreneurs.
Right.
Some was diverse, and one was a speech therapist. It was like, listen, I have this issue with my son. My son doctor said this. I need a referral. Can you sign one for me? Could you do something? She was like, absolutely. Came in the next day, gave me a referral, took it to his doctor. His doctor was offended. Was just like, you did what? I was like, I need for you to fill this out, like, now. Because something's wrong with my son and I need help. Nothing's wrong with him. You're just a young, typical mom. Wow. Okay. But you're going to give me support. Like, you're going to give him services. You're going to find out what's wrong. So he was like, well, you have to go to my people. All right, whatever. I'm not going to fill out your form. I'm going to fill out the one I want him to go to. Okay, as long as he sees somebody. So we had to wait a good 6 months because the developmental specialist in Newark, New Jersey, I was the only one in the Essex County area at that particular time, because this is like, what, 10, 12 years? No. Yeah, 12 years ago.
Okay.
And it was not too many. Like, there's not a lot of developmental specialists are like more known now compared to so many years ago.
Right.
And so I had to wait. And when we finally went in, and she was just like writing notes down, and I'm just like, he wasn't talking. You know, he sits in his own little corner. I'm like, he's building pyramids. Like, he knows how to open stuff. He knows how to cut stuff. Like, stuff I'm not even, like, he's just watching and learning how to do it on his own. And I'm like, he's very advanced. I'm like, he could put a 72-piece puzzle together. I'm like, this kid is, like, very smart. Like, something is wrong with him, but, like, maybe it's just speech. She was just like, no, mommy, he has autism. And I just went into, like, immediate shock. But she was just like, but this is what we're going to do. You're going to go to this place. You're going to go to that person. You're going to get all of these appointments done. And that's what we're going to do. And I just remember her saying, like, the words prognosis. And I was just like, no, that's not going to be my son. I promise you that's not going to be him. She's like, no, we just want him in a special school for now. Don't potty train him. Don't worry about anything else. We just need for him to be in a school setting. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Now, since we on the son situation, is that the soul or the source for your book, Dear Black Son?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
He was the sole source. I think I was also doing our autobiography. I was supposed to be working on like a memoir or autobiography, and I couldn't write it. And I had trouble writing it. I couldn't find the words. I didn't know if I want to share my life story, because so many people were just like, oh my God, you have a great story. So many more Black families need to hear your story of how to overcome autism, how to have co-parent. Like, we need to hear your story. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and write it. Could not write it. So I started writing little letters to him. And I was just like, okay, how can I make this for all Black sons?
Okay.
And then I realized that it was bigger than me. So then that's when, like, my editor, she reached out to me, and she was just like, do you know somebody is writing a book called Dear Black Boys or something? Like, he's writing. I said, well, he's writing that book to just, like, he's writing the book. This book, what I want to do is something different. But at that particular time, I didn't, like, reach out to so many people. And I'm like, no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have other parents write to their sons. Like, it's not just about me. Sometimes we need to hear the messages of our parents. Sometimes we need to sit and reflect and understand who our parents are. And being a therapist is like, I started to observe that even into, like, my client interactions with their parents. A lot of the skill sets or the goals that I'm working on is their relationships with their parents.
Right.
So the lack in communication, the disconnect of humanizing parents was starting to happen a lot in my therapy sessions. And I was just like, okay, how can I apply this to my book? Like, so the questions was, why are you the way you are? Like, be authentic with who you are as a parent, and explain to your child, like, I did X, Y, and Z. Because I went through this, this is why I was this way with you. Sometimes kids, you know, our children don't understand that. Like, they think that we're harsh, we're mean, we can't relate to them. When 9 out of 10, we can relate. We just have a different story. We just had a different path.
Right.
So when you build that, I just wanted to kind of build that gap. And so that's when I was just like, all right, you know what? I got to think outside of myself. How can I connect with the more families, more parents and their children? How can I get them to have that interactions? And so I just started reaching out to people and just like, listen, I'm working on this project. Would you be willing to write a letter to your son? Here's the guideline. And it went from there.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. And so, Dear Black Son, it says here, I got one. You guys got to make sure you cop it, right? Dear Black Son, it said a written for one series. Explain that a little bit. Is this the first of many?
Many, yeah. So it's going. So with each book, there is an ebook, an audio book, and a documentary. And Dear Black Son actually does have a documentary to go with it too.
Okay.
That is supposed to be in the film festival this fall.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So we were able to show it at the book launch. But the goal of the documentaries, it was for people to actually see the actual people from the book. Like it was to bring them to life.
Right.
And to talk about their stories and to share their experience, because I believe that everyday people are not heard of.
Right.
And so sometimes we miss their stories. We miss how they can impact the community. They can impact the person, or they can impact just their family. So I wanted to just have everyday people's stories in the documentaries. And that's what we're going to do for Dear Black Daughter. So I think it's a 2-part series. So it's one portion just particularly for Blacks.
Okay.
So it's like Dear Black Community, Dear Black History, Dear Black Daughter is next, then it's Dear Black History. Then we have another set that is for like diversity and culture. So that's more so like religion, disabilities, that's like just global topics that we probably don't touch.
Wait, you got like an artist deal, like a 5-year deal or something? Because you got this thing broke down.
Oh, you know
yeah,
what?
Yeah, I'm
Got
like,
a whole roster.
I'm self-published. I did all my own stuff, believe it or not.
okay.
Wow.
I did
Nice.
all my, like I funded everything by myself.
Oh, nice.
So you self-published.
Self-published, yep.
You kind of made sure your son had the proper diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to working on your PhD.
Yes.
You left the stability of your teaching job to go out on your own.
Yes.
That's very courageous, Wonder Woman.
Absolutely, yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
give it up for her. Like that. That's a lot.
Thank
And
you.
I appreciate you being so open about your story, with everything with your son and
you.
how you came to write the book, what inspired you. So can you tell us where they could find the book or
Okay.
your social media sites, everything right now? We want to do a major plug because we really need to support this type of thing, especially in the Black community. One of
Yes.
the taboo things
Absolutely.
is therapy or mental health.
Oh, that's a big taboo.
Yeah, we could have a whole show just based on that,
Mental-
right?
Yeah, mental
But
health is a big thing.
I definitely want you to make sure you give them nice and clearly all the information where they can purchase this book,
Okay.
Dear Black Son, which I happen to be a part of, me and my sons.
Yes.
Quick shameless
Yes.
plug. That's how I met her, to be honest with all.
Yeah, I ain't want to bring it up just yet, but we're gonna
Yes.
let you get your plug in first.
Absolutely.
Like, selfish like that.
Well,
I'll
they
tell
can
you.
find me on Instagram at I am Dr. K. On Instagram, Facebook, Keena S. White. And for the book, it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and writtenfor1.com.
And what is the price of your book?
The price on Amazon right now, because it's like a sale and it's probably the last day, is $9.99.
This the last day?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good plug. Okay.
Yeah, $9.99 on Amazon, and then on the Written for One's website is It's originally $24.99,
Okay.
and the ebook is $17.99, and the audio book is coming out August 1st.
Okay.
Who's doing the narration of the audiobook?
Janice Wiggins, she's already completed it. So, but I'm thinking about having a male narration, because somebody was just like, I would love to hear Dear Black Son in a male's voice, or both, because some fathers written letters and mothers written letters. So we'll see. I'm working
We'll
out
see.
some
Listen,
details.
for
yeah.
$2.25 an hour, I do it. You know what I mean?
Come on, man. It's
Well, you'll
labor
get more
laws
than
we got
that.
to deal with.
Uh-huh.
That's under minimum wage.
The narration, they get 50% of all pros. They get 50% of
Wait
all
a minute.
sales.
What?
Yeah.
Do we need to audition for this? Hello, Dear Black Son.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We doing voiceovers
I'll
right
put
here.
my voiceovers. That's right. Now, today, Dear Black Son.
They get 50% of all sales. Yeah.
That's dope.
So, are you very proud of your book right now?
Yes, and it's like how you were saying, like when you guys were talking, like I'm supporting all Black. Like everybody who worked on the project is all Black. Even
That's
in
what's up.
narration, like it's all Black.
So now, since he done shameless plugged itself, right? Okay, how did that come about? Let's get this out the way now.
Oh, she's gonna.
No, don't let him do it, because he gonna put some other stuff in it. I want to hear your version first.
Of how we met.
Yeah.
I just saw him online, always like promoting like positive videos.
I see his story already started different, but go ahead.
And so I just reached out and just like, listen, it started with, I was building a creative team.
Okay.
And that's who I pitched. Like, I pitched this whole idea to the creative team first.
Right.
And so I asked him and like, I think 7 other people to be a part of his creative team. So that's how we've met in person the first time. And so the creative team were people who actually wrote for the book or they modeled for the book.
Right.
So next to each letter is like a scene that encapsulates the letter. And so they was either a letter writer or they was a model. And so I was just like, all right, you guys, I'm pitching this idea. Just let me know what you think. What do you think the community need? And I know he was like actively in the community. And just so happened, everybody who I invited to be a part of the team knew somebody.
Right.
Like, everybody knew somebody that I thought everybody wouldn't have. But they all, they was like, oh my God, what are you doing here? So he wound up knowing somebody else there. First, he said he thought it was an intervention. What?
I didn't know what was going on.
He was like, yo, is this an intervention? I was like, no.
I didn't even know I had nothing to intervene on, but it felt crazy for a minute.
He was like,
I want no parts of
he was like,
this.
yo, for real, is this an intervention? I was like, no. Sit down. Just relax. So then I
got
got
comfortable.
Yeah. And then that was it. Like, he wound up doing the photo shoots. We had a really great conversation with him and his sons, and it was nice. And so like the photo shoots, everybody gets to keep their photos.
Okay.
And I paid for all of the photo shoots.
Okay.
Like, so that's how I was like when I really invested in myself, this whole entire project, I think spent $10,000. And I paid for it all by myself.
Now, just inside it, he claimed now that you called crying, I need your help. You know, you inspired me greatly. Like, so that's why I need to know your story. So now, what's your story?
Well, first of all,
Why just switch
it
up?
happened just like she said, though. Nah. And the thing, only thing I add is when I asked, was it an intervention? And then she had some nice snacks laid out. So you know that always get me calm. Oh, all right, we eating? Oh, all right, we good. We good then. I start feeling
Hold on.
comfortable.
The
then
buffet did it.
when the buffet came out, boy. That was,
Buffet, okay.
no, but we had a great time. I was honored, and let me tell you again in front of everybody to be a part of that. It's something that my sons could talk about for the rest of their life.
Absolutely.
If they never get another chance, that we were in a book and we did. So they were really excited about that. And really quickly, I'll say how things work out. Now, my sons was in Florida.
Absolutely.
So I had to submit the letter first. She picked it. I guess she liked our story, right? And lo and behold, it worked out where they came to move with me. Maybe 5 days before the photo shoot was set up.
Yeah.
So we were able to fully participate.
There's no mistakes.
There's no mistake. So
I think like your interaction with your son is like one of like my most memorable moments. Like the first, I think, because it was the first shoot.
Right.
But that conversation and reading your letter to your sons and like hearing their reaction, I just was so upset that we didn't get it on film because they was just shocked, and it was just like I didn't know my father felt that way.
Now, you know,
Like-
not for nothing, I did see the email y'all exchanged that you was going to, like, blow this up a little bit, but I'm going to let you go ahead. Yeah, I
He's
saw
not
the
telling
email.
the
I saw
truth.
the email, but okay, go ahead. Here you go.
So like that is like my biggest like moment, just the interactions and just having like the other males in the room talk to them and like on relationships,
Right.
what black fathers wanted, and then we went over why they participated, what was some words of
It got really
motivation,
deep.
what was words of motivation they wanted to get to other black males. So with each I did 30 photo shoots. With each shoot we did that. And just
she tricked us into a therapy session is what happened.
that's what he keeps saying.
Oh.
He keeps saying, no, I didn't.
Oh,
I
just
wanted
a
to
little
be
training,
therapeutic.
you know,
I
It
pro
was
wanted
bono.
to be therapeutic.
That's a good way to put it. I don't know if she set out to get us in a therapy session. but it
said,
was
oh,
therapeutic.
The food
Yeah.
is
The
always the
other-
food.
The other men that were there with their sons that participated start talking to my sons. I start talking to the, like
That's how you.
it
That's how
got,
you
it got, it was,
bridge
it was
Yeah.
good.
It was good.
Okay, once again, let everybody know where they can find your book.
One more time, that's right.
Please let them know.
So
Shameless
the
plug.
book is available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and WrittenForOne.com.
Dear Black Son
Dear Black Son.
by Dr. K, Keena White. Thank you for coming to the
Thank you
Duality
for having
Podcast.
me.
Absolutely.
It was a great
Thank
interview. You brought great energy. We really appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
And wish you all success on all your future projects, especially this. Y'all go out and get that. Dear Black Son.
And you said the audio book is in August?
August 1st, yes.
August 1st. Okay, nice.
And you can play it while you riding.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We enjoyed you. We got to do this again when you do the daughter version
Yes,
of your
that's
book.
next year. Yes.
Okay, early next year. Like, do you have a target date?
It's probably going to be around like November, fall.
Okay. All right.
All right. Dr. K, Keena White on the Duality Podcast.
Yes, that was a very interesting interview right there.
Very, very interesting. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, we kind of know each other,
Right.
and still some stuff I learned today, like dealing with her son, the things she had to go through, people pushing her off. That happens a lot too. Doctors, they try to push you into what they want you to do, what box they want you to fit in, and what's beneficial to them. So I'm glad she got that worked out. I'm glad that her son is doing well,
Absolutely.
thriving right now.
Now, your involvement in the book, when you see the finished product, how did it make you feel personally?
Oh man, well, you know me. I'm first of all, you ever put my name and picture and stuff, I'm good. But no, the finished product, I anticipated it was gonna be good, but like she said, during the photo shoot, just the chance to see my son's reaction when I read the letter that I submitted to it, that was the big part for me.
Okay.
So I got something from the other one, so I'm very proud to be a part of it. Like I said, that was the truth. I'm honored to be a part of it. Like that me and the boys was a part
Like I
of it.
said, joking all that, but yeah, that's a very positive moment.
And I tell you this, I got to push up one of to get my daughters. I got two daughters too, because they was feeling some kind of way. They're like, oh, y'all just the boys go.
It became personal?
Yeah.
It became personal.
So Dr. K, I'm submitting a letter for Dear Black Daughter as well.
Shameless plug. I mean, this is what this show is going to be about. It can come at random.
Listen, I am Mr. Social, so I'm going to be sociable.
I get it, but that was actually a business move, and that's usually my realm, but, we're going to let you have that one.
What kind of, how was that a business move? Break that down.
It was a business move because now you're trying to finagle a deal for your daughters to actually get some book work now, and the fellas already got that. Let them live, you know what I mean? Like, just let them just have their 3 years.
But how you tell them girls no?
No.
That's a little that's easier said than done. I would say that much.
See, I ain't got to say it. That's why I can easily say it. I ain't got to deal with it.
Exactly.
Right.
What the heck you
Right.
talking
I'm
about?
just trying to see if you can actually pull it off.
Nah, boy, listen. Your little daughters turned into women, and we know what women can do. I ain't trying to go down that road, man.
Yeah, they run it off at the end of the day.
But overall, like her being a third, I'm inspired by her story. Like I thought I did a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel like I ain't do nothing now. She
You
an
know-
author, like the stuff you do. I gotta get on it, bro.
And I'm noticing the theme, man. Every guest, we only been on 2 weeks, but every guest is multifaceted.
Absolutely.
Like, that ain't by chance neither. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that they can go into different spaces and pull out different things and still be successful.
I think that fit what we doing. People know us working together. We have good vibes. Event planners, shameless
Absolutely.
plug. But we do nightlife promotion. We do all kind of events. Who would have ever thought we would get into media now and to doing podcasts?
Absolutely, because we both know this was never
Nah.
like I seen this. Honestly, I saw you doing this with dynamic speaking. I saw
Right.
you doing this, hosting events and all that.
Right.
I personally never wanted no parts of a light or a camera. I just liked it to ink the deal.
See, y'all are rubbed off on them. That sociability.
Yeah. So now
Come on, don't look all disgusted. You having a great time. You should see him behind the scenes. He throw his cookers on. You know, that's what we say. But he got his glasses on. He real Hollywood. He doing it now. He loving this.
I didn't want to say nothing though. I didn't want to say nothing. I just wanted to keep playing the victim for a minute. You know what I mean?
Ah man, whatever.
Look, give me about 5 weeks in. I'm gonna be like, listen, this show is personally Mr. Business Show. Mr.
Come in
Social
here.
took the week off.
Wanting his lemon tea with only 3 all these great. It has to be in a china glass.
Oh, somebody with the sweat towel? Yeah. Hey, no, we're going to have to redo the budget. I mean, we really going to have to redo
I
it.
tell you this, you go into doing that junk, boy, we go way back different. But I do something to you. Hey,
Yeah, we got to do what we got to do.
this been a fun experience, and we got so much more. I want y'all to keep checking in with us, man. Every Sunday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Talk about what we got coming up August 8th.
Okay, Ladies at Work virtual concert, which would take place right here in the studio. Still getting the details worked out. All that should be available within the next 5 days.
Hold on. Real quick. You said a virtual concert.
Yeah, because I ain't going to nobody club.
We just keep breaking barriers. Did y'all hear that? August 8th, we having a virtual concert. And who doing that?
Ladies at Work, which is us.
Our other brand.
Okay, hold up. Shameless plug. We do it all. Okay. Okay, when you see us, you never know what's about to happen. Okay. Between nightlife, concerts, apparel, you name it, we do it. We will be your poster men for success. Just follow the trend.
Necessary.
Just follow the trend. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do. But August 8th, we're going to do a virtual concert. We're going to relaunch the Ladies at Work brand. And, let these women have their say, because the format is pretty much women empowerment. And it was built on the premise that women shouldn't have to share the stage with men in order to get recognized.
Right.
That was the premise. That's going to stay the premise. It's everything we do with Ladies at Work is female. The only
all
men
female.
involved are us, the CEO, president. That's it.
That's it.
If you see a man involved, I guarantee you he's transgender or something. Like, I'm serious. Like, for real. So
Norm,
that's where
check
we
the
at.
FCC
yeah,
regulations
my
on
bad.
that. Bro, he really trying to get us big.
No, but I'm just being honest about it. Like, it really is for women. Like, it really is. Like, I want women to know you do not have to share anything with men in order to be successful.
And that was a great move. I give him credit. That was one of the ideas that he came up with from initially. And it's Ladies at Work. That means it's the law. LAW. And we relaunching that. Being in the nightlife where we was, I just wanted to give him this, that we were seeing a lot of female DJs that was dope.
Absolutely.
But wasn't really getting the gigs. So that's how it kind of
Absolutely.
started. We just wanted to make an event where we had all female lineup of DJs.
Yep.
But again, we wanted to expand it even more just to have the whole woman empowerment. And I think that we could,
And
two brothers raised by ladies at work. You know what I mean?
And you remember 2 years before that we even did the first launch, we
Right.
talked about it. Like, listen, there's a movement coming.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about Me Too and all this.
No.
The women's
before
march.
that. Yep.
But you felt it.
Yep.
You felt they was about to step out.
Yep.
So, like, listen, let's get involved. Fast forward to now, they here.
It's going
The
down.
movement is here.
Yep.
So listen, any woman that wants to be a part of it, all you have to do, reach out, go to the Ladies at Work page.
On IG and on Facebook, right?
Absolutely. And let's be clear, if I know you're doing something positive, I'll find you. I guarantee
That's
you,
it.
I will find you.
We for the positivity.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have fun.
Absolutely.
We're not perfect. So, y'all bear with us if we slip up.
Be human, absolutely.
But you know, we really keeping this train moving forward. Like I said, getting into the media game, we having a lot of fun. I didn't know this was gonna be this fun just to do this.
Yeah, that is true because, like I said, in the beginning, like I had my reservations about it only because I'm used to playing the back, and
Right.
and this is pretty much your zone. You know what I mean? Like dynamic speaking, this is what you
Right.
do. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, he's tailored for this. I'm just gonna see how it works for me, and worst case, I'll just be on the production side of it and do it that way.
See, what people don't know, though, because I know him all our life. We knew each other, right? I know he's a talker. He just didn't do it. He select when he opened his mouth. Like, he one of those persons. I'm going to get up. I don't care where we at, where we going. I'm running my mouth. You know, and there's something to be said about those people that are more measured. You know how they say, you don't speak many words, but when they speak, they powerful words. So he was the strong, silent one. And we be running that too on the right, that good cop back.
Because I don't know, I just believe every conversation got to lead somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like general conversation, okay, that's cool in your house. But when you out here in these streets, I think every conversation got to lead to the money. You know what I mean? Or lead to some type of. And when I say currency, it don't necessarily got to be financial, but it got to lead me somewhere that's going to actually encourage or strengthen what we're talking about.
True.
You know what I mean? Because, people spend 2 hours and talking about, yeah, I'm going to get with you next week, and next week be 3 years from now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, I'm not having those conversations. So because of that, like I said, you can have your conversations and everybody be fine with you, which kind of bothers me. People talk to you more than they talk to me at the end of the day. I don't really like that, and we're going to have to address that at some point. But, we'll deal with it at some
But
point.
look, one of the things I want to do is we were given a great copy. Thank you, Dr. K, of the book. So I'm going to go ahead and sign yours for you, all right? Let you know you messing with Mr. Social, brother, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Let me get this in. I'm going to sign it for you, you know what I mean? It ain't no big
Our
thing.
1 hour has came up. We are doing well. Thank everybody for watching. Tune in next week to Duality Podcast. I'm not Russell Simmons, but God bless and good night.
Peace.